An old-school rivalry renews tonight under the lights at historic Arlin Field in Mansfield, where the unbeaten TY Tigers will take the gridiron against 1-0 Marion Harding. The first meeting between the two since 2014 and the 78th overall, dating back to 1899. It's Senior High squaring off against the Presidents, streaming live and free exclusively on the OH Report. Coming your way next.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm Marc Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Longtime rivals set to meet for the first time in 7 years tonight for the right to go 2-0 on the young season as our live and free coverage of high school football kicks off right here and now. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Arlin Field. My name is Brian Skronsky, joined by the one and only Andy Jardy tonight. And we got a pair of 1-0 teams coming off of nail-biting victories in Week 1. Andy, take us on a quick trip down memory lane last Friday. What happened? How'd we get to this point?
Yeah, so both teams looking to go 2-0 to start this young season. Marion Harding last week getting the win against Mount Vernon in a very close game, 28-27. They stopped a Mount Vernon 2-point conversion with 13 seconds left in the game.
Like that.
To hang on and win that game. Brady Wink was sensational. Looking forward to seeing him play tonight. He threw for 260 yards and 3 TDs. So Marion Pleasant 1-0 on the season, as well as Mansfield Senior, who jumped out early on Norwalk last week, 15-0 after one. They led 18-0. Got a little hairy at the end, though. Had to hang on to win that game 18-12. They did force 3 turnovers in that first quarter and held Norwalk to just 207 yards. So Mansfield Senior Marion Harding, a rivalry renewed, Brian.
Yeah, this is an exciting one, man. These guys have been playing since the 1800s, Andy. I don't even think they had automobiles back then. You had to take trains to actually get to the game. We were having some conversations before the match. That's pretty cool how that all went down back in the day. But for here and now in 2021, and two 1-0 teams, including the TY Tigers, their head coach, Shakley Bradley, gave us a couple of minutes just a few short minutes ago. Let's go ahead and take a look at that interview.
Joined now by Mansfield Senior head coach Shakley Bradley. Coach, a gutty, gritty win last week against Norwalk. What stood out to you the most about your team's performance that you liked?
Well, I thought we was able to come out and get some things done defensively to get them into some uncomfortable situations. We knew that they were going to try to establish the run and kind of play keep away from us with their offense, and with us being able to get up early on them 18-0 and create some turnovers early. I think that was something that might have deterred some of their game planning that they were trying to get accomplished.
Is that one thing that you would like to see again tonight too, is just getting out to that quick start and really putting the pressure on Marion Harding early?
Well, we always want to start fast. We emphasize that in our practice, in our preparations, where we want to come out the locker room. We want to start fast in all three phases, and tonight we're going to try to do that as well. Hopefully we can get this thing in with this weather rolling in. But Marion Harding is a great football team. They got a well coached program, and this is an old school rivalry game, Mansfield Senior High versus Marion Harding. And it's just exciting for us to try to get that thing back going.
Yeah, it is a great rivalry. Hasn't happened in a couple years. You guys are getting back to playing them now. What's the biggest challenge they present for you guys tonight?
Their skill, man. They got unbelievable skill guys. They've always had great skill. I think, they match up with us. They compare with us in terms of their skill. On the perimeter, the running back, the quarterback's fast. He does a great job with his legs. They got some big receivers that can run and catch the ball and make plays. It's Marion Harding. It's going to be a physical, very gut-wrenching football game.
You guys will win tonight if you do what?
If we tackle and don't turn the ball over.
All right, short and sweet. I like it. Good luck tonight, Coach. Thanks.
Thank you.
was making some noise warming up right around midfield. They brought a good student section. Their marching band is pretty impressive in size too, so there's a good away crowd here at this game tonight as well. And yeah, this is a series that goes back to 1899. This is the 78th meeting all time. The TY Tigers lead it 50-21-6. And since 2000, Mansfield Senior 11-3. They've won 4 straight. Last meeting in 2015, a TY Tigers win over at Marion Harding, 33-20.
Not that President's fans want to be reminded of that,
No.
Andy, but for Tigers fans, it certainly makes you smile. And Chokey Bradley 5-1 against this Marion Harding club. So we'll see if tradition continues here tonight at Arlin Field. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our keys to the game. Fill you folks at home in on what we think is going to be the deciding factor when things are all said and done here tonight in this game. Here we go, Andy. So last week, Mansfield Senior, they really struggled hard in the second half. They did get a win over Norwalk. They came out of the gate so hot, 18-0 lead for them. You feel like, again, if they can do that, of course, it's going to bode real well for the Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what Chokey mentioned to me earlier when I talked to him, too, that they want to do that every game, get out to that early lead and apply the pressure. And if they're going to do it, it'll have to be from the defense probably, again, as the offense is still kind of trying to figure out who they are. The defense seems to be a little bit ahead of the offense. Yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. But yeah, Mansfield Senior, if they can get off to a fast start, especially at home, kind of feed off the home crowd a little bit, I think that's going to be a real key for them here tonight.
The Tigers can play well from in front, as we saw last week with Brock Hill running the offense. He's more of a runner, if you will. They got to get some more different kids, though, involved in the rushing game. We'll see if someone steps up here tonight for the TY Tigers. And for Marion Harding, it's kind of all about that passing game, including with Caden Fags and what he brings to the offense. So for them, if they can pass on this Tiger secondary, which is not going to be easy, certainly that's going to help them out tonight.
Yeah, that was key for them last week in their win over Mount Vernon, 28-27. Brady Wink, the quarterback, threw for 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, and what was really impressive, too, that opening drive, they went 80 yards on 10 plays.
Wow.
Wink hit 5 different receivers, capped it off by an 8-yard touchdown pass to Caden Fags. So if they can come out, throw the ball all over the field, they're going to have success tonight. So that is going to be a key for them tonight, is if they can control the game through the air, they'll be in good shape to get a win here on the road and go to 2-0, Brian, for the first time since 2004. It has been a while since the Presidents have been undefeated going into week 3.
Yeah, no kidding. I was a freshman in college back then, Andy, and now I got kids that are almost going to be a freshman in college, so it certainly has been a long time. And our final key is just restore the rivalry, This is a big game for both of these programs. Who is going to take it the most serious, step up, make some big plays? We're about to find out here in just a couple of minutes.
Well, Marion Harding made T-shirts, right?
Yeah, they brought us some. I haven't even seen them, Andy. Let me grab one.
Yeah, you better grab one of those. They brought us up some T-shirts right on the back. You got the 2. On the front, you got the 2 helmets.
Yep.
On the back, it says restore the rivalry. So they're taking this thing pretty serious.
And here's the Tigers coming out onto the field. One of the more beautiful sights that you'll see on a football gridiron right here in North Central Ohio on a Friday night. And just a spectacular venue. They've got about $1 million in a new project put into Arlin Field, Andy. It just looks fantastic out here.
Yeah, it's my first time here since the renovations. I'm looking forward to seeing it when it gets a little bit darker to see. I believe they put new lights in here, see how that looks here. But the paint job looks great. It looks just like a newer, cleaner facility so far. My first impressions from it.
Just about 1 minute remaining in our State Farm pregame presented by Super Agent Marc Lamoreaux right here in the greater Mansfield area. Also, like to let you folks know that tonight's high school football broadcast brought to you live and free on the OH Report, thanks to our generous sponsors, including Park National Bank. Invest with people you know and trust, or bank online anytime at parknationalbank.com. Shakley Mechanical, serving the area since 1995 for plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Visit shakleymechanical.com to schedule your appointment today. Tridico Sign Company, making signs of all kinds. Design yours today. TridicoSigns.com. And J&F Construction, building your future today. Design yours as well at jfconstruction.com.
Wasn't sure we were going to get this game underway technically as early as we are going to be getting it underway, because the radar has not looked great tonight, Brian, and we've been in now, what is this, will be a 45-minute weather delay? Yeah.
That's right, and the radar's still not looking the greatest for us, Andy, as the night moves on. However, it seems like most of the bad weather, it's kind of right around us. We're right in the middle of this thing. So
the eye, if you will.
Yeah, so we've got, the eye of the storm around us. We'll see if the Tigers got the eye of the tiger here tonight, Andy.
They did play that in the pregame.
As they always do and should.
How could you not? I will say it has dropped about 10 degrees since we first got here. When we were, you should have seen us hauling up our equipment earlier today. Once again, for the second straight week, have learned I can sweat in places I didn't know I could, because it was unbelievably hot.
No question about it. I'm still sweating up here, Andy,
and
it's cooled off 20 degrees. So just let you know, at least for the players' sake, it's probably good to get that 45-minute cushion where the weather could pass by, because now it's a cool, beautiful night out here. Pretty perfect, I'd say, for some Friday night football in Ohio.
Tyree Scott and number 11, Caden Bass.
Tigers won the toss and elected to defer, so they are going to kick it away deep.
Everybody get up on your feet.
Fags back deep next to Kyrie Scott for the Prezzies. And it's going to be a short kick. This one's going to be fielded by one of the upmen who doesn't go very far. And let's go ahead and take a look at that starting offense tonight here for the Marion Harding Presidents. You already talked about Brady Wink. Just mentioned the name Kyrie Scott. He's going to be the running back starting tonight. Fags was a standout last week. He's going to be split out wide next to Stokes. So definitely keep an eye on those playmakers right there. And you might notice in that right-hand column, all seniors starting tonight. So the Presidents, a veteran bunch, probably played a ton of games.
It's a 4-year term. That's for the Presidents.
Well
that's
said.
what you got to do. And watch out for Stokes, too. 6'3", basketball and track star.
Wow.
Look for him to make some plays for you tonight.
Opening down. It opens up, and here's the pass. Caught Brennan Beecham with the reception, and he's out across midfield.
So you see right away, comfortable in the passing game. Brady Wink just able to roll out, find Beecham, and it's an easy first down.
The 50-yard line, where Harding will have it, first and 10.
Big gainer there to open up the opening possession of the night here at Arlin. Harding going with 4 wide receivers, 2 tucked in tight, and they're going to chuck it to the outside, and it looked like a miscommunication all the way. Just the receiver never got his head around, Andy.
Yeah, there was nobody in the vicinity of that pass right there, and thankfully for the Presidents, it fell harmlessly to the ground, so they'll get another crack at it here, second down. Interesting to see, too. I mean, last week they took that opening drive right down the field. See if they come out with that same kind of efficiency here for the second week in a row.
Second and 10. Wink again from the gun. Steps up in the middle, big hole. Now he fires, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Tigers.
Excellent read by Amar Davis to just jump the route, read it beautifully, came in, got the easy interception there, and now Mansfield Senior sitting pretty with their field position right around the 40-yard line.
Amar Davis is brought down at his own 41-yard line.
Let's take one more look at that on the Tridico Sign Company replay. Read it all the way, Andy, and you just can't teach speed like Amar has. Able to jump the route, come up with a big turnover here.
And this is something we saw Mansfield Senior do last week as well, too. They forced 3 turnovers in the first quarter. They already got 1 on the opening drive.
So first and 10, first play from scrimmage for Mansfield, and they're going to hand it off. Big hole to the outside for Zion Brown.
There's some laundry on the field.
Number 5, Zion Brown carries the ball for the Tigers.
Right about at the 50 is where they threw it. I'm going to guess this is probably a hold on Mansfield Senior.
Yeah, it certainly looks like the Tigers backtracking here.
That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
So that negates a nice run by Zion Brown.
That'll take the ball back to the Mansfield Senior 39-yard line, where the Tigers will have it 1st and 12.
So it'll be 1st down and 12 after the penalty yardage. Hill hands off this time. No room to run for Brown.
Yeah, he was met quickly by Jacob Barr. Big hog molly up front, 6'4", 250. Tell you what, I would not want to run into him down on the line of scrimmage. Whew.
Brought down by number 15, Jacob Barr. Loss of 1 on the play brings up 2nd and 13 for the TY Tigers.
I think we got an official's timeout. Not sure what that was about.
Stand by 2. 2 is up.
And we're back.
Just catching their breath momentarily.
1 is up.
2nd and 13 now from the 38 as Hill looks over here to the near sideline. Brock takes the snap, 4 wide, 2 to each side, puts it up, and he's got his man. It's Davis. And he runs down the sideline to the 45-yard line before being forced out of bounds, a gain of right around 20 yards.
So they get right back to where they originally were on that 1st down run from Zion Brown.
Tigers take it down to the Marion Harding 45-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Tigers.
Interested to see how Brock Hill does in the passing game here tonight, Brian. And we got another officials timeout. But you know, they played Duke Reese at quarterback a little bit last week. He did throw 2 passes, and we'll see if they stick with Brock Hill. I think this is a clock issue right now.
10:26 on the clock.
It's going to add 3 seconds back on the clock.
But we'll, you know, I'm curious to see if that's something that they're going to implement all season, kind of mixing in the quarterbacks, or if they, you know, just kind of play it by ear and see how the game goes and who's got the hot hand.
Hill just going to take off and run here. As you saw, they brought Davis in motion, and always being an armchair quarterback, Andy, we talked about the game a little bit on our way over here, and I felt like that was a dimension that Mansfield could probably tap into a little bit more here tonight. Getting the likes of Davis coming through, even if he doesn't get the handoff, faking some jet sweeps. He is so fast. Same with some of the other athletes they have, like Avion Gross.
For sure, and even if you're not going to, you know, hand it off to him, at least plant the idea in the opponent's head. Maybe set you up for something later on in the game, too. We'll see if they get a little more creative with that.
On 2nd down, it's Hill pushing forward out to the 38-yard line. It's going to set up a 3rd and manageable. They're going to need about 3 to move the chains.
3 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 3 for Mansfield Senior.
They're probably in 4-down territory, too, right now, Brian, barring, you know, a big loss on this play or some sort of penalty. See if they keep it on the ground or try and pick it up through the air here.
Hill's got 2 backs, 1 to each side. Fakes the inside give, rolling right. Plenty of space, and he's got his man. It's Gross. Nice catch, and they've got the 1st down yardage.
That was a great adjustment, too, by Avion Gross. The throw was just a little bit behind him, but he was able to turn his body around, secure the catch, get the 1st down, keep the drive alive for Mansfield Senior. Great catch by Avion Gross.
That'll bring up 1st and 10 Tigers at the Marion Harding.
Take one more look on the Tridico Sign Company replay.
Yeah, you see him reach kind of back across his body, able to bring that one in. Gross last week had 5 catches for 39 yards.
And was a little bit hampered with a hamstring last week. You hope that a guy that's such a big part of this team is able to overcome that and get healthy as the season rolls along.
I tell you what, Zion Brown on just the 2 handoffs or a couple handoffs he's had here so far tonight, he looks like he is ready to just break one loose. He had a nice run on the first play that was called back for a hold. He was brought down at the line of scrimmage there, but if he doesn't get brought down right there, there was a lot of green in front of him.
Tigers fans very excited about him. Just a sophomore breaking into the starting lineup. He is a $175 at about 5'8" too, so not super stocky, but he definitely has some muscle tone for a guy of his stature. Hill, certainly one of the better athletes on the team. I've seen him in the weight room tearing it up on the squat rack, Andy. He can drive forward a couple of defenders. He's able to there. Gets him about a half yard shy of first down yardage.
Yeah, we were talking about our max efforts in squatting earlier on the drive here, and we were nowhere near any of the TY Tigers. I think I was, you know what, I'm not even going to say where I was at because it wasn't anything to publicly broadcast to people. Let's just put it that way.
Some things are best left to the imagination, Andy. So here we go, third down. Tigers, again, need about a yard or so. Deep back here is going to be Ricky Mills, their bruiser, 5'10", 220. But Hill's going to go to the air. He's going to go to the end zone. He's got Gross just off of his hands.
An excellent throw, though, from Brock Hill. He put that only where Gross could get it. Gross just unable to bring it down, but an excellent throw here from Brock Hill. Coming up just a little bit short, but we'll see what they decide to do here. Tell you what, Sean Putt was out earlier, draining some deep field goals.
No question.
And it looks like they're going to bring out the offense, though, here on 4th and short.
Tigers need the 19 for a fresh set. They've got him spread out. You see Harding showing blitz all the way. Hill gets stacked up, but I think he does have the leg drive. Yeah, he's close to the 20. That's going to be a first down for Mansfield.
Yeah, Marion Harding was expecting it, but Brock Hill was just not going to be denied right there. You could see them clog up the front. And then Brock Hill able to get it. And it'll be another first down. Already the third first down on this drive.
So the Tigers on the move, breaking into the red zone for the first time tonight. Harding stacking the line of scrimmage. They'll bring the blitz. They hand it off anyways, does Mansfield, and Mills trucks his way forward for a gain of 4.
Gain of 3 on the play brings up 2nd and 7.
So Tigers 7 yards away from picking up another first down here as we're approaching the midway point now of what feels like a fast-moving opening quarter, but perhaps Mansfield aware that the Storms are in the area and he's just trying to get this thing in if they can.
Yeah, we're not going to look at that radar anymore. Boy, great job there by Marion Harding. Bradley Pennington all over Ricky Mills in the backfield.
Just nowhere to go from the jump, man. As soon as he touched that ball, he's seen just all white jerseys coming at him. Never had a chance.
Yeah, and this is a Marion Harding team last season, too, that really struggled to keep teams off of the scoreboard. They allowed an average of 31.3 points per game.
Wow.
So trying to tighten things up defensively will be a big key to their success this season.
Third down, 8. Hill steps up, throws, nearly intercepted, too tall for the intended target, Davis. And Cameron Ross got 2 hands on it, but just couldn't squeeze the thing.
Yep, just another pass, just a little bit out of the reach. But they're now going to bring out Sean Putt for a field goal attempt.
So one more look, just a bit out of the reach there, Davis. So now Putt out onto the field.
Yeah, last week he hit a career-long 35-yard field goal.
The hold is down, the kick is up, the kick is through, Andy, and just like that, Mansfield Senior taking the lead 3-0.
So they turn the turnover into points, making it 3-0. And it's just, you know, it's so great to have fans, marching band. I know we talked about this a lot last week, and we talked about it on the post-game show later last week, but it's just great to have an atmosphere back at these games and some sense of normalcy in what's been a very difficult 2 years for all of us.
Makes all the difference, certainly for these kids out there, when you've got your classmates that can come out and support you. That's kind of what it's all about. The marching band's so key to just the full vibe on a Friday night, along with the cheerleaders too. You got to give them their due props. So when you can get the full feng shui, Andy, there's just nothing quite like a Friday night at an Ohio high school football game. This top-notch stuff out here, particularly at Arlin Field, old school rivals, man. This is a great night for football.
It absolutely is. And my favorite part too is when the visiting team has arrived, because the marching band gets off the bus and you're like, oh, okay, they've arrived.
Sure.
So it's great to have both bands here tonight.
We do have 4 live and free streams going down right now on our Facebook and YouTube channels. So if you get an opportunity to flip over to some of those other ones, you can check out the likes of Clear Fork, Northmore, also Centerburg playing tonight. Some great contests out there on top of this one as well. A full packed night of football for you on the OH Report.
And already week 2. Normally this would be week 1. That last drive too for Mansfield Senior, Sean Putt tying his career high that he set last week. That was also a 35-yard field goal here tonight to give the Mansfield Senior Tigers a 3-0 lead early on.
Nothing quite like a PR to get the confidence at a new level, Andy.
I have to give a big shout out too to John Davis here at Mansfield Senior for stats, game notes, keeping us, he makes us sound very smart on the broadcast. It's very nice to have his stats come through for us live.
John Davis, simply the best over here. Here's another look back at that first down play. You see Mansfield just collapsing. Nothing available for Marion Harding. It's going to set up a 2nd and 9.
We'll see how they respond after turning it over. Going back to that interception too, I thought Brady Wink was maybe going to step up and run for it. He's got the ability to run, but threw that interception instead, and now I think this time he is going to take off, Brian, and he's got some room in front of him, but that was closed quickly.
Did have some room until number 13 caught wind that he was trying to break the pocket. That's Avion Gross. Boy, look at the speed.
Yeah, he closed the gap quickly. I mean, there was room there. I thought he was going to get to at least the 30, but
boom.
Yeah. He threw him to the ground like I would throw you to the ground in a game of football, Brian.
I don't know about that, Andy. We'll have to bust out the ball
There's
tonight.
Only one way to find out, really.
Maybe in the studio tonight for the Friday Night Pigskin. We do have a little bit of artificial turf right now in the new studio, so
I mean,
might be able to set a little something up. Trying to set up his teammate here as Wink. But just no room to run there for Trinity Keith, who made the catch out of the backfield. And you see Mansfield Senior, they're just coached to perfection about flying to the ball and just making sure that there's none of that yak, Andy.
Yeah, and it looked like this might potentially develop into another big play too. Wink doing a nice job just to get the ball off to Keith, kind of his safety outlet right there, and unable to get much more after the catch. So Mansfield Senior defense playing strong again here early on.
Gross with back-to-back tackles on that last possession. Brings up a 4th down and 4 now from the 29-yard line. Line drive punt. Looked like it might have touched the President player at about the 40. I think the official recognized that. And it's going to be the 38 specifically where Mansfield Senior is going to set up for their 2nd offensive drive here of the night. Another look at the fans here on the home side for Mansfield Senior.
And the Tigers got a sideline warning on that punt. See what the Tigers have in store for their 2nd drive now.
First one, of course, very successful. Brock Hill, 2 of 4, 24 yards through the air. Davis, 17 yards of those on his 1 reception that he made. And then they did kind of the most work on the ground. 4 carries for Hill, a couple for Brown, Mills with 3 as well. And that's what they're going to stick with. And this is an inexperienced offensive line, Andy, so they don't have veterans back at that particular position, but at the same time, this is a team that feels like they can win with defense, so I feel like they're trying to marry the two together. But with all these playmakers that they have on the perimeter, I bet it's a tough job being an offensive coordinator, not just wanting to chuck it deep to Avion or Amar or some of these guys about every other play.
Sure, and I think that's just something that they'll obviously develop as the season goes on, and being able to play a full schedule this year uninterrupted, hopefully. I think they're just going to get better and better as the season progresses.
How about that fake by Brock Hill? I think totally lost our camera guy.
It happens. Fooled me.
Take another look at that. Even though you're not going to be able to see Brock with it, but you can at least watch the fake. And yeah, everybody collapsing down. You see the defensive end, Brandon Gruber, 100% bid on the fake there. Opens things up for Hill on the perimeter, though. Didn't go super far, but he does have enough for a first down.
Yeah, and Brock Hill not afraid to run the ball either. He had 35 yards on the ground last week, including a rushing touchdown. So he'll make plays with his feet as well as his arm.
Brock out to the perimeter. Here's Gross. Wow, look at the speed down the sideline. Avion Gross.
And that's just speed right there. That play had no business going for the 12, 13 yards that it just went for, but that was Avion Gross just outrunning the defense on that one.
Gain of 15 yards on the play. First and 10, Mansfield Senior.
Gross now up to 22 yards receiving, 2 catches.
And if he is healthy, boy, I think he's out there. He reopened his college scholarship commitment from the University of Pittsburgh, so he's a free agent right now. I'm sure he would love to have a huge senior year, kind of have his pick of the litter. Here he is again. He's open. He's got another catch. Such a sure-handed athlete. And he's got 8 more yards for Mansfield.
It's funny you say free agent now, because a lot of these high school kids now are kind of free agents with what's going on at the college game now. And hey, where can I go where I'm gonna make the most money off of endorsements? I personally think it's a great thing. I'm all for it. But yeah, that's got to be something now that these kids can consider.
I think you're right. You don't have to go to one of the bigger market schools like an Ohio State or some other place in the Big Ten, Andy. You could just go be big man on campus, say at Akron, get you a couple of car dealerships that want you to endorse the brand, maybe some T-shirt companies want to throw your face on something, and you can make a pretty decent living while playing sports. It all makes sense. I'm with you. I think it's a great thing.
Well, as a Kent Stater myself, I would prefer him to not go to Akron.
Understood.
If he wants to put on a Golden Flashes uniform, we're all for that. But yeah, it's just a whole new era, really, at the college game. And I'm a big fan that we're actually going to get an NCAA football video game again, because it has been far too long, Brian, since they put one of those out. Zion Brown now up to 18 yards on 4 carries. And I'm telling you, Brian, he is just like one tackle away from busting off a big run, but he is met in the backfield quickly on that play.
Yeah, he got absolutely demolished in the backfield there.
So we'll see if this Marion Harding defense, they did a good job only holding Mansfield Senior to 3 after the turnover, and then going 3 and out. They've kind of been put into 2 tough positions. See if the defense can stand tall again. Hold them to 3, or maybe keep them off the scoreboard altogether.
Should be the last play of the first quarter. Hill fires. He's got his man complete to Miles Bradley, making his way towards the middle of the field, and that's a nice pickup, taking us to the end of one where Mansfield Senior leads Marion Harding 3-0, and a rivalry renewed.
Financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Lender, Craftsman, Dog Dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Back here at Arlin Field, beautiful night as you see that sun going down. Brian Skronsky, Andy Jardy with you here on the call. Fabulous night for football, and it's a great start here for the Mansfield Senior Tigers, already leading 3-0 over Marion Harding, and a chance to add to their lead here on the move with Sean put back out onto the field.
Yeah, 1st and 10 now at the 11, so they can still pick up a first down here. Sean Putt got the TY Tigers on the board, and they're about to add some more right here. Touchdown Tigers.
Big time run, Ricky Mills, the junior, getting into the zone for Mansfield.
Just a nice run by Ricky Mills. They've got a lot of weapons in that backfield between him, Zion Brown. Brock Hill can make plays with his feet too, and it's Ricky Mills punching it in for 6.
So here is Putt back on to the playing surface, trying to make it 10-zip. Just that, so Mansfield Senior now leads Harding 10-0 on your Shakley Mechanical Inc. scoreboard. You can't ask for a much better start if you're Mansfield Senior, doing a little bit of everything, creating a turnover on the defensive end that you cashed in for some points, and now nice drive, 60 yards into the end zone.
Yeah, and they've done a great job defensively too. Only 6 plays from scrimmage for Marion Harding in that first quarter, only 1 first down. No yards rushing and just 16 yards passing, so they've done a great job shutting them down here so far. They built themselves a 10-0 lead. Capped off by that Ricky Mills touchdown run. He had 25 yards on the ground last week in their win over Norwalk. This is the Mansfield Senior team too, Brian. They struggled to score points last year. Just 15.5 points per game. And obviously a big outlier in that too. They put up 42 on Lexington, so they really didn't score a lot last season. And already, just on their first 2 drives here tonight, the offense looks a lot better than last season's.
There's no question about it. Mansfield really struggled offensively a season ago, so this year, a lot of the kids that weren't getting into the games for them, Andy, on offense a season ago are back, so a lot of veterans out here playing for the Tigers. You can tell Brock Hill certainly much more comfortable this season after how everything went down last year with him being stripped of his eligibility towards the end of the year, as we've got a big return on the way here. This one could be taken all the way back to the house, and it will be Caden Fags to the zone for Harding.
Are you serious, Brian? What a burst of speed to the outside. Fielded that on, one hop and just took off. 94 yards for Caden Fags, and just like that, the Presidents are back in the game.
And that's how quickly your fortunes can change in this game. Just one big play is all you need. And for Marion Harding, they got themselves right back in this one because of the big play. Take another look at the replay here in just a moment as you see the student section going wild here for Harding. Here's the PAT. It's going to be wide left. So the score remains 10-6. Mansfield Senior in front. Trying to dial up this replay for you.
I mean, Fags was just so quick. We weren't able to get a replay. He just took off. It wasn't a bad kick either by Sean Putt. He just got a big block. I saw two Mansfield Senior players just get absolutely leveled going out of bounds. So he had some blockers out in front of him. He was able to take it 94 yards and electrify the crowd. I mean, he ran that right past the student section in the marching band right there at the end zone. Fired them up. And I've just missed the roar of crowds at high school games. That was a welcome sight there. Not for Mansfield Senior fans, but, you know, just for an atmosphere perspective. Good to hear the crowd again.
Student sections most especially, man. Young people out there, you know, just all hyped up on the Mountain Dew and, you know, the popcorn out there, Andy. So it's just fun to have real atmosphere back. High school football lives in the state of Ohio again.
Number 13, Avion Rose.
This is a Marion Harding team too, Brian. We talked about it earlier. Trying to get back to 2-0. Hasn't happened since 2004.
The bet is on. Okay, yeah, he's got it. One is still hot.
Just 2-7 last season. Trying to get back to their winning ways. Haven't made the playoffs since 2003. You could count last year as a playoff appearance for them when everybody made it. But the last time that they got in as a legit qualifying team, 2003. So it's been a while for this Marion Harding team. They've gone through a tough, decade and a half.
They're going to change their fortunes this year.
And they think they've got the right guy with Demetrius Ross coming in. This is his first year as the head coach. Already got his first win last week. And so he's kind of bounced around all over the country. I was reading a story on the Marion Star's website tonight about him. As there's a nice tackle in the backfield. Marion Harding playing with a little more confidence right now. But Demetrius Ross, he was scouting for arena football teams last year when the pandemic hit. And then job opportunity opened up here at Marion Harding. He applied for it, got the job. And he went to Marion Harding but graduated out in the Northwest, spent some time at Boise State, did a couple workouts for the Bengals.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been all over, and now he's back.
And speaking of being back, how about getting the ball again? Makai Bradley, actually. Thought at first it was going to be Mills, but it's the big body of Bradley out there, the junior, making his presence felt. And this kid, a flat-out horse in the weight room. So I can only imagine how hard it is to bring him down.
Yeah, and last week, too, all sorts of stat sheets that he filled up, led the team with 11 tackles. And a nice 20-yard catch right there for him.
This one's going to skip. Just a little bit too short for the intended Amar Davis.
I do like what I'm seeing from Brock Hill tonight, though, passing the ball. He's got only 3 incompletions. 2 of them, maybe you could argue, should have been catches off the hands of his receivers. And that one right there just coming up a little bit short, but he looks a lot more confident in his passing.
We're still up. Stand by 2. 2 is up. Tighten that up then. There you go. Good. Stand by 1. 1 is up.
Here's Brock from the gun. 3 wide receivers to his left, looking that way, firing deep. He's got a man. It's Davis, and no one's going to catch him. 44-yard touchdown, TY Tigers.
Just a beautiful throw and an even better route. And that is going to get them back out by at least 10, 16-6.
Well, with Sean Putt coming out here, I think he's shown to be automatic so far this season. Can almost rely on this PAT for him. He's got Duke Reese, the sophomore QB, who you alluded to got a little bit of PT last week. Came in, actually looked good in his one drive of action. And Putt will make it 17-6. Mansfield in front. here early in the second quarter. So Tiger fans enjoying themselves, of course. And especially the little kids back too, Andy. Just pretending that they're the high school kids out there. That's what is the best part, is that you don't have to be a Michael Jordan or LeBron James. Just be a stud high school athlete. Young kids growing up in your neighborhood or even just in your city, they look up to you. They respect you. They want to be like you when they grow up.
For sure. That is something every kid should do. Play as many sports as you can. Get yourself acclimated to all the different sports and build your strengths that way.
We are going to take an additional officials timeout.
And an excellent response, too.
And humidity.
And we have an officials timeout for heat and humidity, is what they just said right now.
Yeah, understandable. I've seen that they've been doing this at different sporting events so far with the, starting a week early too, Andy. It's going to be pretty hot here for some of these first few weeks of the high school football season. So why not take a quick break?
For sure.
2 minutes, get some water, stay hydrated, and try to avoid cramping later in the game. We saw last week that was a problem on a few of our broadcasts, kids going down left and right, particularly in the second half. So this at least helps a little bit be preventative.
Yeah, and it's just so crucial. I mean, any chance I get, even just sitting up here, I'm like, hey, can you go grab me a water? Can you get me a water? It has just been really a miserable summer weather-wise. If it's not raining, it's like it is tonight. It's 90 degrees and the humidity is through the roof. It has just been really difficult to just enjoy the weather because
living has been tough, Andy. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't have central air at my crib, so I can totally relate to anybody that's just complaining that it's hot. It has been hot. It's been muggy too, so out here, especially when you're running in all the gear and the armor that these guys have, it's tough, man. It takes a toll on you.
I mean, the joke is always in the wintertime up in, where I live up in Cleveland. Why do I live somewhere where the air hurts my face? Well, it can be applied now too here in the summer. It's like, why do I live somewhere where it's just awful outside?
Tough breaks. It's because of nights like this, Friday Night Football, Andy.
Absolutely.
That's why we're here.
Yep.
Here's a deep kickoff. It's going to take one hop, and it's going to roll into the end zone where it's fielded, but you can't do that. Caden Fags, of course, provided the big fireworks on the previous kick return. Not this time. Not going to get the chance.
Going back to that Mansfield Senior drive, too, what a response after the Caden Fags kickoff return. They had all the momentum. They had gotten a couple stops, and then Brock Hill made a couple completions, and obviously the big one, the 44-yard pass to Davis, got them right back into the end zone. So an excellent response from Mansfield Senior when it looked like Marion Harding was maybe starting to steal some of that momentum. And at this level, too, momentum is just so key to winning.
See if the Presidents can come up with any right here offensively.
We still haven't really seen the offense much tonight.
Here's Wink handing it off. And just no room to run on the outside there for Malachi Robinson. Swallowed up immediately.
There you go. Looks like we got an injury on the play. We've got a knee on there.
Malachi Robinson on the
A little bit
carry
shaken
for
up down
Marion.
there too. You see Saxon Sharp slow
One on the
to
play.
get up off of one knee.
Maybe my favorite name on the roster tonight for both these teams. Saxon Sharp. I mean, that's just it's a great name.
I'm with you. 2nd and 8 now after a gain of 2, and veteran line moving the point of contact a little bit there. Still not a ton of running room as the linebackers coming up and doing their job for the Tigers.
On the carry.
So very quickly, it's 3rd down again, Andy, and a chance for this Tigers defense to get right back off the field.
Yeah, this is a big play here early on in the second quarter here. Marion Harding's got to find a way to keep the offense on the field here.
Back to 2. 2 is up.
They're going to run it straight ahead, and man, boom. Makai Bradley coming up, laying a big hit, and it's going to be 4th down.
I mean, who else would be right there to deliver the tackle than Makai Bradley? He's had a couple big plays already tonight, both on the defensive side of things and offensive side.
And this is where it's This is a tough call from the 29-yard line. You're only down by 11 points so early in the game, 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, but it looks like, at least for now, that the Harding offense is going to stay on the field, try to get a half yard.
I would be shocked if they went for this. This might be a try to get them to jump off sides. Okay, never mind. There they go.
There they go, and going backwards is where they're headed. No place to run that time. Kobe Johnson pushed backwards on the play.
And Brian, I'm not a fan of going for it in that situation. I think you got to punt that football away, give your defense, a better chance than what they're now up against here, as Mansfield Senior will take over at the 29-yard line. I just think it's too early in the game, but Coach Ross obviously felt different and thought that this was the moment in the game where they needed to go for that fourth down.
Sometimes those are the gambles that can make all the difference, but if you don't end up getting the conversion, it can also make the difference the other way, Jardy. So I tend to agree, at least with this much time left in the game, sometimes lick your wounds, kick it away, see if your defense can't step up and make a play, because now Brock Hill and company set up from the 29. Already in scoring position as Hill looking deep, firing deep, a man all alone. Breaking behind the coverage, Miles Bradley, touchdown Tigers.
Yeah, Brock Hill had his choice of receivers on that one too, because they were both wide open. And it's Miles Bradley coming down with it, and that's just a gut punch right there if you're Marion Harding. An excellent pitch and catch, though, from Brock Hill, who has looked very efficient tonight already with 2 touchdown passes.
And this was the Mansfield team that I was expecting to see a little bit more of last week against Norwalk, though they did look sharp early in the game offensively before getting shut out in the second half. Just too many playmakers on this team to really hold down Mansfield.
Yeah, you think the defensive players for Mansfield Senior are like, hey guys, can you take your time a little bit? These quick scores are not doing us any favors. They're going to be right back out on the field, but what more can you say about this start for Mansfield Senior on the offensive side of things?
Both sides of the ball, really. I think Marion Harding's only run 8 plays from scrimmage up to this point, so 10 plays total. You look at that number, and then you look at the fact that Mansfield Senior got 23 points up on the scoreboard. Things are going well right now. I think the saying is, Tigers got the juice.
They do, and they've just dominated everything on the stat sheet here tonight. 26 plays to Marion Harding's 10. Time of possession, 11-14 to 4-18. Still just 1 first down from the Presidents. And, those kickoff returns are great if you can sustain the momentum. But, it really didn't last too long for them as they find themselves down 23-6.
Will there be a response from the Presidents, or will Chokey's bunch run away with this game here tonight? Hadn't seen this matchup in 7 seasons. Great barometer game, particularly for Harding, who, as you mentioned all the numbers in the pregame, Mansfield Senior, a lot more wins in this rivalry than that of the Presidents. So the Tigers flexing on them here early. We'll see what type of response Harding's able to produce here with a long way to go. 8:28 remaining in the second.
Yeah, they've got to get something going offensively. They had so much success last week against Mount Vernon throwing the football, and we just haven't seen it. And a dangerous catch right there, but able to bring it down, and good field position to try and get back into it from the 40.
It's Marquise Adams fielding that one. Will set up Harding with pretty decent field position at the 39-yard line.
Do you like that approach from Mansfield Senior right there, kicking that ball short?
Well, so far, yeah, Fags has been the only offense up to this point for Harding on that kick return. Why not? If you can take the ball out of his hand and ensure that they at least have to come up under center and run a play, I think it probably is a wise move. Stepping up in the pocket is Wink. A couple of Tigers there to make the tackle, including Mackay.
Leo Hess in on that as well. Wink looked like he was going to take off, and there was nowhere to go. Once again, Mansfield Senior just so quickly closing the gaps here early on.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 on the way for the Prexies, who got to find something. They have to establish some type of identity to keep Mansfield Senior guessing defensively. haven't been able to yet up to this point.
It looked like they had it for a little bit on that opening drive, but then they threw the interception, and that one just knocked down quickly. Malachi Mays not letting that one get out to Trinity Keith. So that, again, a 3rd and long for the Presidents.
Yeah, look at him just getting the paw out, swatting that thing down. Now the President's going to take a timeout, talk things over. Big play on the way, 3rd down and 10. You'd certainly hate to give Mansfield the ball back right away on a punt and or go for it again on 4th down like they did a possession ago.
Yeah, it's really all going to depend what they do here on this 3rd down, because now if you get to a 4th and 2, 3, I think you do go for it again. You're in better field position, and you've got to get your defense some air. They've been out on the field almost this entire half, so this is arguably 2-down territory depending on what they do here for this 3rd and 10.
Certainly figure that the Presidents are going to have to put it up through the air against this Vaughan secondary of Mansfield Senior.
Live on OH.REPORT with Andy Jardy bringing you all of the action.
And still no attempts throw to Wesley Stokes for the Presidents. 6'3". Figure he's a big target, but they've kept him out of commission here so far tonight. Stokes, 4 receptions last week and 86 yards with a touchdown. But this is just a Marion Harding offense that has just not been able to get anything going against Mansfield Senior's defense.
3rd down. Wink off the slip out of the backfield. And this is going to be real close to 1st down yardage for Keith. Looks like he's got it by about 1.5 feet, Andy. So well designed there for the Presidents.
Yep, and it's sorely needed. Just their 2nd first down of this game. Fresh set of downs. And a good timeout taken by Demetrius Ross to just get them to maybe settle down a little bit, and thought they might tack on 15 more. It was almost a late hit out of bounds.
Yeah, real close to being on the chalk there, but a fresh set midfield. Here comes Wink. 3 receivers set, looking left all the way, and miscommunication there. Thought his receiver was going to run deep. Stokes came back to the football.
Yeah, just a simple miscommunication there. Stokes turned around, and by the time he turned around, the ball was already over his head. Never stood any sort of chance to come down with that one.
Pass intended for number 4, Wesley Stokes.
So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
That'll bring up 2nd and 10, Presidents.
Tigers defense been great so far here tonight. If you're just joining us, the 6 points on the board for Harding were via a kick return to the house. As Wink steps up, rolling. Doing some nice things with his feet, and that's going to be intercepted. Tipped and picked off by the Tigers, and it's J&F O'Brien making the play.
Yeah, that was just a case where Wink was never really comfortable or sure of what he wanted to do. Thought maybe he was already past the line of scrimmage when he dropped back to throw that one. It looked like he wanted to keep it. He ends up trying to throw across his body, and it would be intercepted by J&F O'Brien. So the 2nd turnover of the night by the TY Tigers defense. And I thought if Wink looked out to his left when he looks back at the footage tonight, he had Trinity Keith again off to his left in the backfield. Could have dumped it off to him for some yardage. Easier for me to say that up here in the booth where I can see the whole field. But that is a play that they'll go back and look at. And he'll probably be kicking himself knowing he could have just dumped it off.
No shame in doing that, especially after what Keith just did on that 3rd down. As Hill with a spurt up the middle, keeping his feet driving. Got about 9.5 yards on 1st down.
Marion Harding, Brian, defensively looks tired to me. They look like they've been gassed. It is hot out there. They've been on the field almost this entire first half, and there's just really a nothing play turned into 9 yards for Brock Hill.
Here's Brock breaking up the middle, able to get by that tackle attempt and into the secondary of Harding, so it sets up a 2nd and short, less than a yard here to move the chains. Davis comes in motion. They'll fake it, throw it out to him. Here's Davis looking to catch a block on the edge. And he'll get 5 yards on the game.
Is Mansfield Senior listening to our conversation earlier, Brian? I thought we were about to see a jet sweep right there.
They've brought him in that motion 3 different times tonight by my count. So, I mean, Chokey and his staff, they're no dummies. They know what kind of talent and speed they have out there. Just a matter of finding the right place and right time to show that you're going to give it to some of your stud playmakers, and then boom, hit them at a certain point.
And it's, I mean, it wasn't, you know, a huge play, but it got them a first down, and it got the defense moving before the play even began, which this is a defense to me right now that just looks tired. As you're seeing just a heck of an effort right there by Jacob Arndt to keep that one from going for more than it did.
Make that the 27-yard line. Pick up a 3 on the play, brings up 2nd.
Ended up being a 3-yard gainer there for Brown.
I'm going to need you for a little bit. 2's on the move.
2nd down on the way here for the Tigers offense, who has not been slowed down tonight at all.
Now, they look very confident in what they want to do here tonight.
Got the senior signal caller running the show, Brown, making a nice cut there. Turned something that looked like it might be stopped for a minimal gain to about a gain of 3 or 4, and it makes it again 3rd and manageable, Annie. They haven't been in long situations yet up against the down and the yardage where they've had to chuck it up through the air, so it's been methodical. They've been able to do what they wanted in both the run game and the pass game.
Yeah, they've just worn out Marion Harding here in this first half. Already 227 yards of offense from the TY Tigers, so they've done what they've wanted here tonight when they've wanted. So it has been an impressive showing so far from Mansfield Senior.
Flat press covers are across the top, so Brock sees he's got one-on-one, airs it out. Just missed the intended target, Avion Gross. Had it been about a foot more towards the end zone inside the field of play, might have been able to have a touchdown catch. A spectacular one at that, though.
And you know what, though? Brock Hill he's not had a bad incompletion tonight. All of his throws have been where they should be. Maybe just take a little bit off some of them, and he's got different results. But he's putting it, they're high percentage throws. I mean, you know, what's going to come from this? An incomplete pass if only his receiver could have made a play on that throw. So another good throw from Brock Hill.
And even last week when he got pulled in the 3rd quarter there, he at least didn't turn over the ball last week, Andy. He had a touchdown pass. He also had a rushing touchdown. He wasn't super sharp in terms of his completion percentage, but I really liked what Brock did. He was a fabulous punter last week as well, which is a role that he hasn't had to step onto the field and do yet here tonight. But I'm a big fan of this kid, and I think as the season progresses, he's going to get more and more comfortable and start figuring out how he wants to spread the wealth to all this speed on the perimeter. And then also it looks like Brown, like you mentioned, he does seem like he's kind of poised to have a big run at some point.
Yeah, and that was about to be a 4th down and 4, but an illegal participation penalty results in a 15-yard first down, and Brock Hill simply will not be denied the end zone tonight.
That is a human truck stick if I have ever seen one. Brock Hill just bursting into the end zone.
Yeah, running right into 2 Marion Harding defenders, and it just did not matter. Look at this. I mean,
wow.
Strength on strength, and Brock Hill flexing the muscles on that one.
Just makes you want to smile watching plays like that when individual effort and energy overcomes defenses. Boy, it's a thing of beauty, particularly when it's your quarterback running up and through there. Brock Hill showing he's a pretty tough cookie. So the Tigers dropping a 30-burger on Harding here in this opening half, Andy. We talked about in the pregame some of the struggles that Mansfield had offensively just a season ago. Not the case here tonight.
It's in we talked about it a little bit. I just don't know how much you can take away from last season with everything that we went through during that pandemic. And, you know, it's mentally, where were the kids at, having to go through all of that. And so far, Mansfield Senior has looked much better this season than they did last year. And I mean, they've done everything right here so far tonight, and that's why they're up 30-6. I mean, the only thing they haven't done right was the special teams coverage on the Caden Fags 94-yard kickoff return. Otherwise, we'd be talking about a running clock here.
Yeah, that's a good point, something that I didn't even think about. Head has been all Tigers tonight here, folks. They have been perfect on offense every time they have touched the football offensively. They have come up with some points. Marion Harding, the exact opposite. They needed a special teams touchdown, which was special. It was a pretty awesome highlight. Caden Fags, a 8-yard return. 94. Other than that, they've only had a couple of first downs, and the Tigers defense, they've been out there doing their thing.
Yeah, just 2 first downs tonight for Marion Harding. Brock Hill on the night, 152 yards through the air, 47 on the ground. He's accounted for 3 touchdowns.
And that kick put in kind of a perfect position there. Harding up man had to come back and dive on top of it. And with the speed that Mansfield has on the outside with those gunners, they were almost able to get there and get another extra possession.
And I know we say it every time Marion Harding takes over, but this is a big possession for them. Mansfield Senior will receive the ball to start the second half, so if nothing else, you've just got to work this clock and regroup at halftime and not give the ball over to Mansfield Senior with a chance to score and then get the ball back to start the second half.
Wink and company up against it here on the road. Going to hand off inside, nice jump cut. But just too many Tigers there, able to swallow them up before about a pickup of 1.
And I am, frankly, a little bit surprised that they've been unable to do anything offensively with, what I was able to gather from their game last week against Mount Vernon. They were able to throw the football all over the field, and that just has not been the case here tonight. And you wonder if the weather delay plays any sort of factor into that, as that one just goes right off the hands of Hayden Bay. So another 3rd down and long for this Marion Harding team that has just not been able to get it going offensively tonight.
And if you're going to beat Mansfield Senior, you have to have success on early downs, because if you want to throw it, you look at the guys in the secondary, and this is a veteran group. I believe everybody returning in the secondary for Mansfield this season. So this is, I think, the biggest strength for the Tigers. Boy, Harding's put themselves in a bunch of tough spots so far early in this football game. And another one right here. They're going to need 9 yards or more to move the chains. Wink steps up, clean pocket, airs it out. This is going to be over the head of the intended target. And then a flag comes in. I think this is going to be some type of unnecessary roughness penalty with Wesley Stokes getting bumped there out of bounds. But I honestly thought that it was just 2 kids running stride and stride. We'll dial up the replay, try to decide here in a moment. So here it is. Wink steps up, throws it.
It's tough to say, but that's obviously a huge penalty because it was about to be another 3 and out. So they're going to get him for pass interference. And maybe that gets Marion Harding going.
It's going to be on Keontae Bradley, and big penalty when you think about it. The fact that it was about to be 4th down and 10, and Mansfield was going to have 3 minutes and 36 seconds with their red-hot offense back onto the field to really put a nail into the side, a thorn, if you will, into Harding. And instead, here they are with the football, staying on the field. 1st down, it's a run near side. And the Tigers hold them to a gain of about 5.
Malachi Robinson, too, just pushing. Almost the Bush push there. He had Michael Bush out in front of him. Just, hey, go block this guy and let me get a couple yards here. But, yeah, if nothing else for Marion Harding, they're going to chew some more time off this clock. And a chance to regroup down hopefully for them, only 24. But maybe they find something offensively here, but they're going to have another 3rd down and long as, once again, this Tigers defense just not yielding anything to the Presidents.
It's a big play by Leo Hess that time, able to get into the backfield, disrupt some things. And just about everybody having success tonight offensively for the Tigers as we've got a timeout on the field.
And that's going to be a timeout by Mansfield Senior. And why not? They're trying to get the ball back with some time to do something.
That'll bring up 3rd and 7 for the Presidents.
It's been a heck of a performance so far for Mansfield, and I'd like to take this quick timeout moment to thank all of tonight's sponsors that help make our high school football broadcast live and free here on the OH Report, including Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. You can get a free quote online at whitakerwealth.com. Make sure that you ask for my guy, John Marc, over there. He is simply the best. J&F Construction, building your future today. You can design yours at jfconstruction.com. Shakley Mechanical, serving the area since 1995 for plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Visit ShakleyMechanical.com to schedule your appointment right now. And finally, Park National Bank, where you can invest with people that you know and trust. Or bank online anytime at parknationalbank.com.
I do love me some online banking, Brian.
There's nothing quite like depositing a check without having to go to the bank.
You just take a picture and you
So
deposit
clutch.
it. Speaking of clutch, I don't know if forward progression is going to give him this 1st down or not.
Nah, he's definitely going to be at least a yard shy. They had to break into Tiger territory to the 49-yard line. They're marked at the other 49, so this is going to be a 4th down and 2 on the way here for Harding. Another big spot for them in the Tigers defense.
I thought where Bays initially caught that, he might have been right at the sticks, but he's going to be well short of it, and you've got to go for this.
So the Harding offense staying on the field. It's going to be Wink all the way right side. Almost tripped up. He's not going to get it, folks. In fact, he is going backwards. Tackled by Miles Bradley on the play.
Once again, the TY Tiger defense clamping down, and just nowhere for Brady Wink to run. Tried to run it up the middle, didn't have anything. Tried to bounce to the outside, didn't have anything. And Mansfield Senior now a chance to pad the lead here before the half, already up 24. And 2:41 and 2 timeouts. With how quickly they've been able to score on some drives here tonight, that's more than enough time for them.
Particularly with a confident quarterback, their senior signal caller out there making all the reads. Brock Hill having a phenomenal night. 8 of 11 so far, a $152, 2 tutties. And looking for more right here, coming out, trips out to his right.
I want to know if he's sore at all from the hit he took on that rushing touchdown right on that last drive. I mean, he just bounced off 2 defenders.
I'm thinking some Harding linebackers might be sore after that collision.
Look out.
Here's Amar Davis, the Mansfield Christian product, busting his way inside the 30-yard line.
There's a flag on the play.
We got
There's an injured player on the field.
someone for Mansfield Senior down. Hope maybe it's just a cramping issue.
Holding, offense, number 2.
And this one is going to come back on a hold.
One pin right.
So the big gain just put together by Amar Davis.
Slowly pan right.
Not going to count. And the injured play down on the field is Michael Krim for Mansfield Senior, the senior offensive lineman.
Stay off him, stay off him.
So while they tend to him, we'll go ahead. We'll take a quick commercial timeout. We'll be right back. 2:31 remain here in the second quarter. Tigers on top, 30-6.
Hi, I'm Marc Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more. Lender, craftsman.
One is up.
We welcome you back to Arlin Field, where after the injury timeout, Tigers open up the drive here on a 1st and 16 with, well, a whole lot of nothing there. Jardine going about 2 yards back.
Yeah, it's nice play from Marion Harding, who at this point you've got to not let Mansfield Senior score here before the half. Take a little bit of momentum into the locker room, regroup. TY Tigers will get the ball to start the second half, and there's just a smart play, and it's going to go for a first down.
That's O'Brien in the passing game.
We might have a face mask on the play as well. See what the call is here. But
it is indeed going to be a face mask, so Mansfield Senior going to get even closer to the end zone here.
And just the penalties have really hurt Marion Harding. And now you tack on 15 to the end of that completion, and once again Mansfield Senior rolling inside the 20.
Yeah, back in business here. Hill with trips to his right. Brown the lone back. Steps up, fires. He's complete.
Still going.
Keontae Bradley could sniff that end zone, wanted to get in there for the score. And now flags flying in after the whistle is blown. Typically when that happens, these are all the 15-yard variety. It's just going to be a matter of who it's on.
Find the ref, too. Find the ref. There he is. It's like, where's Waldo?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened on this play.
Hold that shot, too. You're up. You're up. Just stay with him. Stay with him until he makes the call, too. Stay with him.
Personal foul, number 5, defense. Penalties half the distance to the goal. First down.
So this one also going against the defense, and Harding hurting themselves again. That's going to set Mansfield Senior up.
1 yard line.
First down and goal, and it looked like a bad snap.
Fumble on the snap.
Yeah, I mean, almost a disastrous play right there for Mansfield Senior. Last thing they would have needed to do there was just turn the ball over at the 1 yard line.
Good, Ron. Back to 2. 2 is up. 1, pull back just a hair. Good, tilt down 1. Hold. Back to 1. 1 is up.
Didn't lose any yardage on the play,
Jokey's saying he wants
so it's going to make it second down and goal here from the 2 yard line.
1 is up. 1 is up.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Mansfield Senior going to do some clock management of their own here, letting this play clock run down, and they're going to take a timeout here at the 40-second mark. Second down and goal from the 2.
Mansfield Senior, that'll be the second timeout.
One
The
is still
second
outstanding.
timeout of
2,
the
2
first
is
half.
outstanding.
Second timeout taken by the Tigers here in this first half.
1, give me a shot of the Marion purchase.
And they put on a heck of a performance so far here, Andy, and it's tough to get a judge early in the season about what teams really are going to be, but we thought we would see a formidable opponent in Marion Harding, comparable size in school, I think even a little bit bigger than Mansfield Senior right now. So this has been a nice showing for the Tigers, and for Harding, it's just felt like nothing, no kind of momentum has ever got started for them. And you talked about it in that first quarter. It's such a big part of this game to get the confidence and the juju flowing. they have not had any of that in their favor.
No, they really haven't. And, I mean, this was a 3-0 game at the end of the first quarter. So Marion Harding, you know, they were able to kind of bend but not break for a little bit there, but the defense has certainly just been out on the field, in my opinion, far too long in this first half, and that's really what's hurt them. Also turning the ball over, 2 interceptions, is just something you can't afford to do on the road, especially against a team like Mansfield Senior.
Interesting formation here, and Hill looks like couldn't get the snap again. Ball's loose.
Fumble-rooski play there.
I don't know what happened, but it looks like they're signaling touchdown for Mansfield Senior. Ricky Mills.
I don't know if they
what?
did signal a touchdown on that play, but suddenly Ricky Mills came out of nowhere with the football. And I think we're
Operator, please make the game clock read 038. Thank you.
So it looks like they're going to wipe out the touchdown. The official on the far side initially had Mansfield Senior with the score.
Suddenly there was a player running in his direction, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, that's a touchdown, but
Ricky Mills did pick up the fumble snap and run the ball into the end zone for a Mansfield Senior.
It is a touchdown.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was a designed play, Brian, or if we just saw the second consecutive mishandled snap there, but I mean, they did just take a timeout. I wonder if that was something they drew up, but it's going to result in 7 points, and what hasn't gone right for Mansfield Senior tonight?
If that was a design play, that is spectacular play call and faith in your team to be able to execute right there, because it certainly appeared as though Brock Hill just missed the exchange again. They did come out in a funky formation.
I have questions. I have questions that I hope to get answered tonight before we leave here about whether or not that play was designed. Because, yeah, all of a sudden, Ricky Mills has the football and nobody's by him.
Yeah.
It was just a very odd play, and I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
We will get answers for you folks after the game. We'll, of course, have our MVP interview, which there are a few Tigers right now in the running for that. And then we'll try to get Choky Bradley up here as well for a post-game interview and some sound. That's going to be one of the first questions we got to ask is about that touchdown. Is that a real play call, or was that just a botch play gone successfully right?
I just find it hard to believe that I mean, it's rare enough to, like, have a mishandled snap on one play at the goal line, but for it to happen 2 times in a row, they had just taken a timeout. I have reason to believe. I'm just going to say this. There's more than a 0% chance that that was designed, and I'll leave it at that.
We'll take it. I know the Tigers will take it, certainly their fans.
Yeah.
31-point lopsided lead for them right now. And into a running clock situation. Certainly when we start the second half.
Yeah, and again, a 3-0 game after the first quarter. It was a 10-6 game after Caden Fags returned a 94-yard kickoff return at 11:38 in the second quarter. And it has been all Mansfield Senior from that point on. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just run one play here and get to halftime and come out in the second half and, you know, try and claw their way back into this game, or just, you know, get on the bus feeling a little bit better about yourself, as that was almost turned over again.
That was Fags coming across the middle. The big playmaker for him a week ago had 2 touchdown catches. Totally held in check so far up to this point here tonight. No catches so far for him, and then that drop.
Yeah, I mean, again, Brady Wink last week threw for 260 yards. So far tonight, just 32 on 4 of 11 passing, 2 interceptions. I mean, Mansfield Senior has just shut down this President's offense. I think we got a false start here.
Do got to give some love, though, to the student section of Marion Harding. They are still standing, Andy. They're still having a good time, enjoying themselves, even though the score hasn't necessarily gone their way up to this point. They haven't had a ton to cheer about. They did have the one big, arguably most explosive play of the game.
Sure.
But I do appreciate a good fan base sticking around, cheering on their fellow comrades here in the white jerseys.
Well, as we learned last year, I mean, you just don't know when this could be taken away from you again. So I've learned through this to, regardless of how the game is going, watch it. Because there were times last year where I was like, I wish I could watch a live sporting event.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it might not be going in your favor, but you're out with your friends. You made the trip here. Stick around, have some fun, and just kind of cherish the fact that you are at a game this year when you couldn't go last year.
Third down is what it is, and with just 5 seconds left, it appears that Harding more than happy just to take it here into the half. Boy, what a performance so far through 2 quarters of action for Mansfield Senior. They lead it right now 37-6. As we'll take a break, we'll be back with the State Farm halftime, including a band performance by the Mansfield Senior TY Tiger Marching Band. Stay with us.
Dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm Marc Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting. Hi, I'm Marc Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more. Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm Marc Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitaker to learn more.
It's halftime here at Arlin Field, where after 2 quarters of play, Mansfield Senior with what we're told is their highest scoring quarter in at least the last 13 years. Andy Jardy, they're on top big right now, 37-6 over the Marion Harding Presidents. I'm Brian Skronsky, joined by the aforementioned Andy Jardy, who's going to break down the halftime stats for you here. And pretty lopsided, Andy, and a lot of the reason why, because Mansfield got it done on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and we think it's the highest scoring quarter in at least 13 years, as the TY Tigers put up 34 points. This was a 3-0 game at the end of the first quarter. Mansfield Senior obviously exploded in the second quarter for 34 points. They lead 37-6, but you look at the numbers there, 17 first downs to Marion Harding's 3. I mean, it's just total domination all over. 280 yards to Marion Harding's 53. Brock Hill has looked great passing the football tonight, 193. Brady Wink, who threw for 260 last week, has just not been able to get anything going offensively for the Presidents, only 32 yards passing. Penalties, it's been a very clean game for the most part. We had some penalties there late in the second quarter, and the 2 turnovers have just been really what's hurt Marion Harding. They looked confident and eager to play on that first drive, but an interception quickly negated that, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Mansfield Senior perfect on offense tonight. They have not had to punt the football away. Every time they have touched it, they have ended a drive with points. And as Andy just mentioned, over the last 13 years, that's as far back as we have statistical data available for us. No quarter as big as the one that you guys just watched live and free here on the OH Report. A 34-point second for Mansfield Senior. And you see all the numbers right there on the State Farm halftime stats presented by our super agent here in the area, Marc Lamoreaux. Just a big-time performance for the Tigers. We'll have a running clock here to open up quarter number 3. When we come back, we will have the opening kickoff of the second half. Make sure that you stay tuned. We'll be back in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Marc Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more. Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm Marc Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Back here at Arlin Field, where it's a big 37-6 Mansfield Senior lead as we get ready to kick off half number 2, quarter number 3, and some breaking news. Andy Jardy, our very own Adam Schefter style of reporter here on the OH Report, about to drop some knowledge on you folks.
Yeah, so the TY Tigers football account, at Tiger_football, tweeting out 7 minutes ago that the Tigers home game versus Lima Senior for next Friday night officially canceled due to COVID. If the Tigers are able to find a replacement opponent, details will be released next week. And then they also tweeted now 3 minutes ago, more info coming from Athletic Director Kevin Porter. Next week's game will not be a home game. Opponent will be released when details are finalized. So next Friday, supposed to be a home game versus Lima Senior, has now been canceled due to COVID. Obviously, we hope everyone at Lima Senior is okay and that everyone is just experiencing some mild cases or just asymptomatic altogether. But there is opponent search now for Mansfield Senior next week, and it will not be a home game. So the TY Tigers will be on the road somewhere next week, not against Lima Senior. So obviously, again, hope everyone is okay at Lima Senior. And just when you think we've kind of gotten through this, something pops up. And, yeah, so Lima Senior will not be playing next week due to a COVID outbreak.
Well, it's tough news for the Tigers just because they're going to have to go on the road, Andy, instead of playing at the friendly confines here of Arlin where they've been so successful forever. So That's tough. However, you learn a lot more, I think, about your team when you do go on the road versus playing at home. Mansfield with 6 scheduled home games this year, so I think it might even help them just balance things out, have that normal 5-5, and get a little bit better test when you're in a hostile environment. When things aren't going your way at home, you can overcome things. You know, you got your family, your friends behind you. You're used to being here. You practice here. You know, this is home. When you're on the road, it's a little bit different. You can get tested in some different styles and some different manners. So maybe a good thing for this Tigers team coming off what we expect to be a big win at the end of tonight.
Yeah, and I guess they found out about this at the best possible time because it's not like this happened on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Sure.
I mean, they've got a whole week. The kids probably don't even know that game has been canceled.
No idea.
They haven't probably even started to scout Lima Senior or anything like that. So, yeah, they just probably ignorance is bliss at this point. They're going to go to the locker room and be like, oh, we have another opponent next week that's not Lima Senior.
And when you're a high school kid, you just want to play football, man. You don't care where you're going and who you're playing, and particularly if you're a talented football team like Mansfield Senior is. So for their sake, it's going to be tough to find an opponent, I presume, in just week 3.
Yeah.
Last year was a little bit different. There were a lot more teams that were put into quarantine. So far this season, I've only heard – this is only the second team that I've heard of that is unable to play due to this circumstance. So it's going to be interesting to see who's even available for Mansfield to play.
Yeah, there was a team, I believe, too, up in the Cleveland area that had a game canceled, I think, last week due to a COVID outbreak. So, yeah, it's hopefully few and far between this year having those cancellations due to COVID.
I do know that Loudonville, who is located just one county over from where we're broadcasting tonight in Ashland, due to their opponent dropping out for this week, they're all the way in Pennsylvania tonight playing a contest. So it could be that the Tigers might have to go out of state to find somebody.
And now I forget the exact way that works, but does that game count in OHSAA standings in terms of playoff points? Or I think when you go out of state, things get a little tricky.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I certainly know that a lot of the private schools, particularly up in the Cleveland area and down in Cincinnati, they schedule out-of-state games almost every single year, and they seem to get in the playoffs all the time. So I imagine there's got to be some type of points that are assessed. Each individual state has their own set of rules of how you get into the playoffs, and if you're going to go outside the state, I imagine, Pennsylvania or Indiana or Michigan, that they all have something where you can figure it out, put it into your numbers and calculate.
And it's so funny when you try to figure out another state's playoff rankings. It is like the most confusing thing in the world. It's like Pennsylvania uses like letters instead of divisions, and it just it's always confusing to me. And this year, I mean, they've expanded the playoffs. 16 teams will be making it from each region. And that's obviously caused some controversy, too, with coaches and their thoughts on it. So I hear both sides of the argument. Obviously, the teams that are the perennial powerhouses don't like it. They don't see the point of it. And teams that are kind of on the fringe. I know, speaking from my experience, my alma mater 2 years ago, Northwood High School, finished the year 10-0 and didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
And so there are teams like that. And I think it also happened to Gibsonburg, who is in the area as well. So you had 2 undefeated teams not make the playoffs, which that should never happen.
Well, what is happening here is Brock Hill with another monster punt. We saw this all of last week. The kid just has a knack for it, and particularly when he lines up at quarterback, you have to know that there's a threat of him, and he didn't last week take off and run, but just because there's that threat, it's hard to put somebody back deep, Andy, and so far it's paid off. He almost averaged 50 yards per punt attempt last Friday night. That one right there, another boomer.
Yeah, it's, we were a little off topic from the game there, but we saw a punt from Mansfield Senior. That hasn't happened yet tonight, so we get it right there. First drive. So a good start by Marion Harding defensively. We'll see if they can find any sort of success now on the offensive side of things.
First down for the Prexies. They're going to hand it off right side. Big hole following some blockers with a nice run here. Kyrie Scott got a first down here for the Presidents to open up this drive.
A nice looking run from Kyrie Scott too. Got to the outside and still didn't get tackled when he went out of bounds. He made sure he stayed standing. And just the kind of start you need if you're the Presidents.
Gain of 15 on the play brings up first and
So
10.
15-yard gain for Scott. Harding out to the 36-yard line.
Thank God for that. 2 is up. Stand by 1. 1, you're up.
Wink backs back out into the gun, and again, they're going to put it into the hands of Scott, trying to bounce it to the right, and this time not the same type of success that he had a rush ago. Malachi Mays waiting for him on the edge.
But it is a positive gain. That play looked like it was going to go for a couple yards of a loss in the backfield, and we've got a timeout, officials timeout.
Injury.
Gain of 1 on the play.
1 is up. He's got to leave the field if they call timeout. Focus on
Looks like it's going to be an injury stoppage here. Mays, the senior for Mansfield, has to trot off the field.
It looks like he's kind of favoring that left shoulder a bit. But no one seems to be working on it there on the sidelines. I expect he'll probably be back out there.
Well, he didn't want to come off the field. I
He had
could definitely
to.
note that.
Yep.
back to 1. 1 is up.
Second and long again. They hand it off to Scott and can't even get back to the line of scrimmage here. Swallowed up almost immediately.
On the carry.
1 reset.
Picks up
2 is
1
up.
yard.
2 is up. 1 reset.
So here we are again with a 3rd and long.
That brings up 3rd and 8 for Harding.
Something Harding saw throughout the entire first half. Just 4 first downs. They did get 1 here on this opening drive of the second half, so only 3 in the first half.
Wink 4 of 11 so far, 2 interceptions. As he drops back, they need 8. Airs it out, and this one out of the hands of his intended target, dropped by Hayden Bays.
Brady Wink's pass intended for Hayden
And it looked like
Bays
Hayes kind of just
is
took his eye off the ball for a second. He might have anticipated the defender coming in or trying to see where to go after he caught it, but just unable to come down with the catch. Would have been close to the first down,
For Marion Harding.
but Harding will have to punt
That's
again.
received from Mansfield Senior. Number 2, Miles
up.
Bradley.
2 is
And
up.
number 8,
Miles
Lamar
Bradley
Davis.
back deep along with Amar Davis to receive the punt. Tigers bring some heat. It's a low line driver. Davis calls for a fair catch now, lets it take a hop, and it's going to take a big Harding bounce and roll dead inside the 10-yard line.
Hemsley's punt rolls down to the 10-yard
Give
line.
me a shot 1.
You guys may notice the rolling clock here in the second half. Same state rules here in 2021 as we had the last couple of seasons with a 30-point differential. The clock will run once an offensive possession starts continuously.
2, give me a shot at Mansfield's coaching staff right there in front of you. Stand by 2. 2 is up.
And it's amazing, you know, that was kind of a controversial rule when it got instated, as any new rule would be. I feel like I don't see it happen that often. I think this is probably only maybe the 3rd or 4th time in the last couple years where I've actually had a running clock, so.
Yep, slow push 1. Good job.
One of our other games on the OH Report, also a running clock game right now. Centerburg with a huge lead at home over Grandview Heights. That one is approaching the conclusion of that one, even though they were in a weather delay just like we were.
Gain of 3 on the play brings up second
Yeah, it was
and
funny. We were
7
getting some
for
scores
Mansfield
right before the 3rd quarter started and hearing, oh, this game's in the 4th quarter, or we've got some finals.
A lot of finals.
It's like, wait a minute, and then I forgot. Yeah, we started 45 minutes later than usual.
2 is up. Or 1 is up. 1 is up. I'm sorry.
One really staggering final score that we heard, Andy, a game that we were supposed to have for you guys on the OH Report tonight, if not for another COVID case wiping out our announcers. But the Ashland at Clyde game, the Flyers dominating 37-0. Ashland getting beat. As we've got a big play here. Miles Bradley making it all happen. Breaking into Harding territory.
It's just Brock Hill's night. I mean, that pass looked like it might have been intercepted, but it ends up going for a huge gain. Brock Hill now 234 yards passing, just 3 incompletions. And again, 2 of those probably, you could argue, should have been caught. The one was just a little short of his receiver, so he has really been on target all night.
Rock solid for Brock Hill here in this contest. He was our MVP last week. Certainly going to be in the mix again here in week 2 as Caden Hill comes up with a big tackle, dropping the Tigers for a loss on first down.
You could argue he's been Brock solid. And I'll see myself out on that one, Brian.
All right, Andy Jardy has left the building, folks. He has, though, just the 3 incompletions, like you said, a perfect rating of a 158 right now. So hard to top what Brock has done. And you want to shine some love on some of the other players, but if Brock Hill's going to play this well, it's going to be tough not to put him back on the microphone for an MVP conversation after this performance.
Brock Hill on the carry.
He's got to be tired of talking to us, right?
I hope not. Hopefully Brock likes hanging out with OH.REPORT and being part of our broadcast, and certainly it means that you're a winner, if nothing else.
Sure.
Because we only talk to winning players in the MVP conversation. So I think Brock, I think he's going to be okay with it, Andy.
You think are we able to, does he have to walk up all these stairs to get up to us?
Yeah, that he does have to do in
I mean,
cleats.
after what he's done tonight, that's
Actually, that's not true. What we're going to do tonight, Andy, we can send you down onto the sideline with the microphone like we did with Coach Bradley earlier. As Brock gets dropped here, maybe he was like, you know what, I don't want to hike up those stairs.
Well, he heard you say that you were going to send me down to talk to him, and he's like, you know what? Here, he's going to just hand the ball off to Marion Harding.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
Takes the ball back to the Marion Harding 49-yard line. Will be 4th and 11.
So it's 4th and 11 now for Senior High. Brock back to punt for the second consecutive possession here tonight after not having to do this a single time in the first half.
And I am curious to see if we do get Duke Reese in here in the second half at all. You know, maybe you take what Brock has done and say, hey, good game. Third quarter's almost over. We're going to let Duke take some snaps the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. Kyrie Scott there on the return. A flag came in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the
he didn't signal for fair catch, so I believe he was open season.
Yeah, that's
Brought down by Mansfield Senior.
See what this call is. Or was it not a flag and just where he picked up the ball?
Yeah, you might be right.
Sometimes those are tough to tell apart.
Throwing the beanbag out there. They should make those things like bright blue or something.
Because I got fooled a couple times last week at East Knox thinking there was a penalty flag on the play, but it was just, you know, where the ball had been picked up.
So very fast-moving third quarter here continues to roll as Wink out to the right side, tackled on the far sideline by Keontae Bradley.
2 is up.
So, and like we talked about Demetrius Ross, they feel like they've got the right guy. He is a Marion Harding guy. He's working at the school, so it's someone that's around the players, you know, all the time in the community. Obviously, still trying to establish that winning culture. Got the big win to start the season last week, excuse me, and just a tough go of it here against a very good opponent, and what a run there.
Wow, yeah. Trinity Keith showing some athleticism, certainly some strength there. So he went right through a Tiger defender.
Seen a couple truck sticks here tonight. Brock Hill had one on his touchdown run. And there's one from Trinity Keith. Keith with 28 yards rushing on the night on 3 carries.
That is longest of the night. Now Winks sets fires. He's got his man, Stokes, wide open. And you can tell Mansfield playing some softer coverage here in the second half.
That is now just the first catch for Wesley Stokes. He had a big game last week. 4 catches, 86 yards, and a TD. They've tried to get the ball to him a few times, and it just hasn't worked out. Been a tough night for the Presidents.
Wink looking to drop it off to Keith all the way. And again, he's got another nice stiff arm, but then gobbled up, gang tackled by the Tigers. Gross converging to make the stop with O'Brien and company. And that is going to take us, guys, to the end of the third quarter. That went awful quick. Mansfield Senior still on top, 35-6. We'll be right back with your fourth quarter action.
That concludes the third quarter of play here at Arlin Field. We're at the end of three.
Hi, I'm Marc Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more. Lender,
Back here, fourth quarter action on the way from Arlin Field, and Tigers fans got a lot to smile about. Still a 31-point cushion here as we enter the final 12 minutes. Well, actually, already 11:45, Andy, with this rolling clock, so
comes at you quick.
It's moving fast right now here in the second half. Tigers defense moving fast, putting some pressure on Wink here on first down. And he's just going to have to throw it away here into the Tiger bench.
And we might get, it's going to be grounded. Yep.
That's what will be intentional grounding. So that's a loss of down plus the yardage. One of those worst penalties that you can get.
Penalty was on Marion Harding for intentional grounding.
So it should be like 2nd and 17 by my count from where he released the football, maybe even 2nd and 20.
Obviously not the kind of night Marion Harding was hoping for, but you do like to see they're still playing hard. You can see it out there with what they're doing. I mean, Trinity Keith has had a couple nice runs here. Brady Wink is still trying to make plays. They haven't just given up in this game. They ran into a Mansfield Senior team that once the snowball started going down the hill, there was no stopping it tonight.
And I think it's a pretty talented Mansfield Senior team. You know, I look forward to being on Jake Furr's podcast next week. He was ridiculous putting Mansfield Senior outside of his top 20 in his newspaper article in Richland County for best teams, and then had them outside the top 10, I think, in his rankings for the Route 30 rankings. So I got a bone to pick with him, and I made that very clear via Twitter that I think he was sleeping on this Tigers team. And I mean, you can see it out here. There's so much speed. There's some great charisma with some of these kids too, and then they have the beast at the linebacker position. So defensively, they're going to be really hard to score on throughout the entire season. You can see why.
Yeah, there's just an entire pack of Tigers there to blow up that play in the backfield. But, I mean, we saw the dartboard in the locker room with Jake Furr's with his cutout on it. So
I hope that's true.
I did see, I think, a Twitter exchange between him and it might have been Chokey Bradley on Twitter just saying, like, oh, bulletin board material, thank you.
Yep,
like,
appreciate it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's they've looked really good tonight. I mean, we kind of thought this was going to be a close game. I certainly thought it was going to be a close game with the way Marion Harding played last week. And,
I'm with you.
And the way that Mansfield Senior, I mean, they won, but it wasn't, a dominating fashion, so to speak.
They had an opportunity to be dominating in that game, and then I would say a little bit similarly to what we've seen here from Marion Harding, at least in that first half, where offensively you saw a little bit of signs, but then that they would have a play that would slow down the potential for them of really breaking through and getting some points. So Mansfield had the potential last week, and then it became a really tight game down the stretch. Not so much here tonight. They got that big lead they've been able to maintain.
Yeah, and I really thought that we might see this game take a turn when Caden Fags returned the kickoff to make it a 10-6 game, and you're like, okay, here we go. This is where you're going to be tested. And, boy, did they ace the test tonight, Mansfield Senior, just immediately responding after that with 27
straight
unanswered
touchdowns. Yeah,
27 unanswered points.
Follow the ball one. There you go. Just hold right there.
And I'm trying to remember, there was a game last season against, I can't remember which team came in to play Mansfield Senior. It was a Columbus team. It's like week 2, and it was a similar situation where Mansfield Senior kind of dominated the game early on, and then there was either a kickoff return or like a block kick by the Columbus team, and they just never could recover from that. Tonight you're seeing them recover from that special teams kickoff return by Caden Faggs. So I think you are seeing they've learned from what they went through last year, and you're seeing them respond differently to it this year in a positive way.
Well, that's what they say about life, Andy, and particularly in sports. If you learn something from what you went through, then everything happens for a reason, and you can take value in it. However, if you don't grow from it and we see the same old, that's when it can be problematic. So I think it is refreshing to see this Mansfield Senior team all grown up here in year 2. You can only be young for 1 season. After that, the younger kids that got the playing time, now you've got to be grown up. You've got to be veterans in year number 2 in the starting lineup. We're seeing that maturation process blossom right here before our very eyes, I think. And it feels like we're giving a ton of kudos to this Mansfield team because we are. But they have all the pieces. It's just a matter of putting them together, and at least right now tonight in this game, they formed the puzzle. They got the full picture in full view.
Yeah, and that game, I just looked it up now, last year was against St. Francis de Sales. They came here, and I believe Mansfield Senior was leading like 6-0 late in the first half or something like that, and then it was a special teams play that de Sales took back, went up like 7-6, and ended up winning that game 35-12. And so tonight, Caden Faggs returns it. It's suddenly a 10-6 game, and they responded nicely. And I tell you, Zion Brown tonight, Brian, I keep waiting for the big run. I mean, that was a big run, but he has been so close tonight to just busting one of these off.
Eventually, the sophomore is going to have that breakthrough run, have a big-time performance at some point in this season. Could be next week on the road. We just don't know where Mansfield Senior is going as of yet.
Yeah, we do not know where they're going. In case you missed us talking about it, their game next week against Lima Senior has been canceled due to COVID. Mansfield Senior will be on the road somewhere. We just don't know where yet.
And could be out of state. Haven't been told anything other than what Twitter has filled us in on. So that's something that we can try to get some clarification on. I'm sure that they just got this news in the last couple of hours and are trying to figure out things still. So I'm sure there's no updates other than we're looking.
Yeah, I just checked again quickly on the TY Tigers football Twitter account. Nothing new other than what we talked about a half hour ago. You know what else has been really impressive tonight, Brian?
Fill me in.
The weather not coming through. I mean, the radar looked ugly. We weren't sure they were going to play tonight. We thought maybe that, they weren't going to risk starting and then having to stop this game, but it's held off, and there's a fumble on the play, but looks like Mansfield Senior recovered, and we got a penalty flag, and we got the spot of the ball thing thrown as well.
That was Amar Davis with that last catch. And it's going to be 3rd down, 13 now for Mansfield Senior. Just looking to run out the clock at this point, get out of here with a big victory. Everyone's still healthy, and it has been nice. Last week we saw Avion Gross limping basically after every single down. Tonight looks like he's got a nice pep in his step, a little bit more healthy, and with this big lead they're able to put him on the sideline now and stay healthy.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Cramping was not really an issue tonight. I thought for sure with this humidity and just the weather tonight that we would see that. But everyone's been able to play through it.
There's a sack there on Brock Hill, bringing him back close to midfield at the Harding 49-yard line. This will be another chance for Brock to show off that punting leg that he has definitely displayed so far through a couple of weeks. Last week against Norwalk, he pinned the Truckers within their own 23 times. Got an opportunity to get one right here.
You love a good punt, don't you?
You know what? I got a little bit of trestle in my system.
I was just going to bring him up.
And I don't think there's anything wrong. I'm going to disagree with Jim and say that the punt is not the most beautiful play in football.
Most important, I believe is the quote.
But it is an effective method of pinning your opponent back, and if you have a good one, like the Tigers clearly have here, it's pretty dangerous, Andy, if used correctly.
Yeah, and especially at the high school level too, where you do not see the greatest of special teams at this level because kids are still growing and teams just don't really do it all that often. But, I mean, he flipped the field again. They're now starting at the 15, and it really does change. It just the odds go in your favor. I mean, what are the odds a team at the high school level is going to put together an 85-yard drive? It's just not. It's not that high.
Less than a 65-yard drive.
And that's still why I go back earlier in this game when Marion Harding decided to go for it on their own 29-yard line. I think the game at that point was 17-6. I just didn't think it was the right time to go for it. They didn't get it, and the very next play was a touchdown, a 29-yard touchdown pass from Hill to Miles Bradley to make it 23-6, and that to me felt like, okay, the game is over now. There was no coming back from that. Maybe if Marion Harding punts it, we have a different game than we have right now. But I just thought that moment in the game was really the turning point.
I think that's fair to say because Mansfield capitalized instantly. They scored, I believe, a couple of plays later. Got it into the end zone. One play, that's all they needed.
Yeah.
So those are the decisions. Wow. Big hit right there by Miles Bradley. And how about these Bradley defenders tonight? Just making big pop after big pop. But when you're a coach and you go back and you assess yourself, how did I perform? There's usually, they say at the NFL level, between 3 and 5 decisions that can cost you a game. Certainly, I think coach is going to go home tonight, flip this on and go, man, that probably was not the wisest decision. Because even if we pick it up, it's just 1st and 10 from our own 20.
Yeah, exactly. So, with the way Mansfield Senior's offense was tonight, I don't know if a punt ultimately sways the outcome of where this game ended up going, but it felt like that was just kind of it right there, where they didn't get it. It immediately resulted in a Mansfield Senior touchdown on the next play, and suddenly you're down 23-6. It just kind of, to me, felt like that was game over right there.
The momentum just ballooned from there. Mansfield with their most dominant quarter in over a decade, following directly after that play. So, good point, Andy Jardy. And on 4th down, going for it again, running to the outside and hit right at the sticks. This is going to be interesting, but it appears that they are going to give the Presidents 1st down.
So looking ahead for Marion Harding, they will take on Newark next week for their first home game of the season. After that, they will travel to Pleasant. I'm pretty sure that's a rivalry of some sort.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
It'll be their MOAC opener. And then on September 17th, they will take on Galleon. Mansfield Senior, we don't know who they're playing next week. Lima Senior game canceled due to a COVID outbreak with Lima Senior, so it will be on the road. That's all we know. And then how about September 10th, Brian?
Okay.
West Holmes comes to Arlin Field, OCC opener, and it sounds like West Holmes rolled again tonight. They look pretty good. Saw them last year just dismantle this Mansfield Senior team in Week 1. And then September 17th, they will travel to Tiffin Columbian, which is no longer the first road game of the season because they will be on the road next week.
And Columbian, boy, they had that engine roaring for decades where they were one of the better teams in North Central Ohio. Guess what? That engine's roaring again, so that's going to be a really tough road game for Mansfield, as this one just in and out of the hands of the intended target there.
Yeah, and a potential playoff preview because they're both in the same division and region, Division 3, Region 10, so that's a good chance they might meet again later on this season.
Yeah, what a fun region. I think West Holmes is in there as well, correct?
Yeah, they are in there as well. And Brian, just like that with the running clock,
wow,
we're done.
That is going to be a final score for you folks. Mansfield Senior showing out here at home, 37-6. They get it done in a rivalry renewed against Marion Harding. The first time we had seen this contest in 7 seasons, and it continues to pad the win column for Mansfield in this rivalry. We'll take one more timeout. When we come back, we are going to have some final stats to talk about. We'll break down tonight's game for you a little bit. and we will line up our MVP of the night interview. I think my vote's got to be Brock Hill for a second straight week, but Andy and I will discuss at the break. We'll be back with all of that and more. Stay tuned. The State Farm postgame rolls along.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm Marc Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Mansfield Senior, a huge performance here in week 2 of the season. The Tigers are now 2-0 as they rout the Marion Harding Presidents 37-6. And there they are doing their patented cheer. Tigers got the juice. They certainly did here tonight in this one, as we'll take a look at the final stats of the evening. And Andy, break it down for us as you look at these State Farm final stats presented by agent Marc Lamoreaux. I mean, it was all lopsided in favor of Mansfield in the opening half. They were able to add a little bit there in half number 2, but it just went so quickly.
It did. It did go very quickly. And, yeah, a lot of those stats you're seeing are first half stats, too, because there wasn't a lot to go on in the second half once the running clock took effect. Mansfield Senior dominated this game all over. The 2 turnovers really crucial, one coming on the opening drive for Marion Harding. So right out of the chute, they were kind of up against it. They did hold them to 3 on that opening drive after the turnover, but just too much Mansfield Senior. Brock Hill was excellent tonight, really efficient throwing the football. He was accurate, and I think they've got to be very pleased with what they saw from him tonight.
Yeah, Brock Hill with 13 completions tonight to go along with a touchdown. He also got into the end zone twice. Actually, I'm sorry, that was his rushing numbers. 13 carries for him and a touchdown. 14 completions and 2 touchdowns. So he did a little bit of everything for this Tigers team, including the punting there in the second half when they needed to pin Harding back just to kind of run out the clock here, Andy. So he is going to be our MVP. And overall, though, this Mansfield team, they did it on both sides. Special teams, the only place where they got let down a little bit. This is the second straight week where they have not turned over the football, so they're playing clean on offense and on defense. They are loaded at just about every level, defensively up front, in the middle, and then in the secondary, they're special. Yeah,
they're fast. There were a lot of plays tonight where it looked like, oh, here comes a big play from Marion Harding, and then they quickly just swallowed it up, didn't let it happen, and just an all-around dominating effort from Mansfield Senior tonight, and who have now won 5 straight against Marion Harding, 12-3 since 2000 against them.
We're going to take our final timeout of the night. When we come back, Andy is going to catch our MVP, Brock Hill, down on the field. That is coming up right after this.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm Marc Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Thanks, Brian. Here with Brock Hill, our MVP of the game. Brock, you were incredibly efficient tonight, 14 of 17, 234 yards. What was working so well for you tonight?
Well, they were playing man defense, and you honestly can't do that against us. I mean, we'll throw it all over you, and we'll do anything to get the win. And the wide receivers ran great routes, and if you're playing man, then you're not going to be able to guard us.
Are you sore at all from that touchdown run you had down there where you bounced off 2 defenders, kind of just threw your arms out at them? How you feeling after that one?
Yeah, my arm's a little bruised up, but, I mean, it felt good. I mean, I love running the ball. I love hitting people, so it felt good to score on a run play.
You guys had about a 45-minute weather delay before this game started. Did that sort of impact you at all, or did you guys do anything in that 45 minutes to just stay mentally prepared for this one?
Honestly, everybody was so locked in and focused. Everybody was ready to get out and play the football game, so I feel like it just gave us more momentum coming out because everybody was so ready and anxious to get out here. So,
what did you think tonight defensively? You guys put on a clinic as well. Just talk a little bit about the defense tonight and what they bring to this team.
Well, the defense, I mean, game in, game out, they're going to be consistent. I mean, last game, they played phenomenal. This game, they had a shutout. We let them score on special teams, which we'll get that cleaned up. But defense had a shutout, which defense is going to be somebody that we'll always be able to rely on. Yes, sir.
Had a great game. Great game.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great game from Brock Hill tonight and Mansfield Senior. Now 2-0 on the season. What are you guys looking to do the rest of the way? How are you guys feeling?
We're feeling pretty good. We're going to get get back here tomorrow morning, get ready, watch film, and then come back Monday and get ready for Lamoreaux Senior.
All right, Brock, thank you so much. Good luck the rest of the season.
I appreciate it.
There it is, Brock Hill, our MVP of the game. 234 yards passing tonight, 2 TDs on the air and 1 on the ground. Brian, back up to you.
All right, thank you so much, Andy. And Brock obviously doesn't know. No, they are not going to be playing Lamoreaux Senior next week because, of course, he was locked in, too busy getting victories here tonight, showing out. Big MVP performance for Brock Hill. So congratulations to him. Back-to-back MVPs for that stud right here on the OH Report. Well, that's going to do it for our coverage here tonight at Arlin Field. I want to thank our incredible staff that helped make the game possible here tonight, including Kurt Pinkley switching, along with Bob Pinkley on the camera up top. Marc Sleeks making his OH Report debut down on the sideline for us, getting some nice close-up shots. So appreciate everybody that was able to make tonight's game possible. My name's Brian Skoronsky. Andy Jardy was my color commentator. Thanks for watching. So long from Arlin Field.